G'day guys, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Get Tasty. My name's Gus, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how I make one of my favorite meals. Goes in a jar, pickled octopus, can't go wrong. So let's get in the kitchen, let's get cooking. So as you can see here, the ingredients are pretty easy, they're pretty basic. We've got rosemary, green basil, red cayenne chilies, thyme, couple of shallots, garlic, a brown onion, a red onion, some bay leaves, sun-dried tomatoes, salt and pepper, olive oil, oregano, white wine vinegar, sugar, and of course the star of the show, our Ockie, you beauty. Now, we're going to start off by washing the Ockie, getting it nice and clean. Beautiful. Look at the size of that. What a beautiful Ockie. Alright, so with fresh water, give it a wash. Every tentacle, one by one. Very simple. And pretty much whether you have one octopus or two or three, however many you've got, just repeat the process. Run it under fresh water just till it's clean and it doesn't feel so slimy. And then the next part will be cooking. So repeat the process and we'll crack on from there. So from here, we just get a pot, fill it up with water, bring it to the boil, and then as soon as that's boiling, we'll add some ingredients and throw in our Ockie. Alright guys, so next we're going to be making our pickled juice, and that's pretty simple. Get yourself a pot, and that's 500 mils of water. With an extra 250, so 750 in total. Then we get white wine vinegar, 150 mils of that. This is a half cup, which is 125 mil. So we'll go that with a little more. Okay. Bit of salt. Not too much, that's plenty. Now I'll put that to the side for a second. Get our little measuring scales. Put that on. Tear. And then we need 100 grams of sugar. Perfect. That goes in as well. Last but not least, some extra virgin olive oil. Don't need much, just a couple of teaspoons. Give that a gentle mix. Alright, and then we're going to put this over a medium heat and let it cook for about half an hour, just until the sugar dissolves. Okay, so looking at the pot back there, it's almost at the boil, and then the next part to cook the octopus in, very simple. I just put a little bit of minced garlic, half an onion, and a small handful of bay leaves. That Ockie is then going to cook for around about 45 minutes to 55 minutes, depending on the size. This one's quite large, so it's going to take about 55 minutes, and you want to give it enough cooking time so that it's actually nice and tender when it's time to eat. Alright, so we'll mix all that in, and once the water starts to boil, we'll throw in the Ockie. Okay, so now you can see that the water is well and truly bubbling. Now it's time to put in the gnocchi. So I like to dunk it, bring it back out, dunk it, bring it back out. See how the tentacles start to coil? Do that 3 or 4 times and then let it submerge. And now you cover it and you leave it for a good 45 to 55 minutes. As I said, that's quite a large gnocchi, so that's going to take about 55 minutes to cook, and then we'll come back to that and then start making the chili and the herbs mix, so we can then put it into the jars once the octopus has cooked. All right, so the gnocchi's been cooking for about 20 minutes now. Give it a quick squeeze. Yeah, that looks good. I've got a second one on in the other pot as well, just because I'm making 3 different batches, 2 big gnocchis. But yeah, look, that looks really, really good. Happy days. Alrighty, so the gnocchi's almost finished cooking. Now this is my favorite part, okay? Because once all these ingredients come together, it is absolutely amazing. So we've got our 2 shallots, which I'll chop up shortly. We've got our chilies. We've got rosemary. We've got thyme. We've got green basil. We've got oregano. All right, we've got our sun-dried tomatoes. We've got extra virgin olive oil. Bit of pepper. Red wine vinegar this time. And then once we get all this chopped up, we'll put it into a mixing bowl. And then that way it's easier to put it all, once the octopus has gone into it as well, into the jars. So we'll get to that in a second. Now we have the shallots. Next we have our rosemary, and I just pull all the leaves off the stem, like so. Bring it all together and give it a nice dice. Doesn't have to be real fine. Just enough to cut through the leaf and release the flavor of the rosemary, which is absolutely beautiful. Just chopping it up smells incredible already. Next we have our thyme, and pretty much repeat the same process. Again, doesn't have to be extremely fine, but chopped up enough so that the leaf and the flower release its flavor. All right, next we got basil. So obviously guys, we're just repeating the processes, yeah. Every herb that you need to chop up, you just remove the stems, get your leaf, and then put it all together and chop it up. Beautiful. All right guys, this is a secret ingredient. It's up to you how spicy or not spicy you want to make your mix. I love chili, so I like to add 2 different types. So I've got my red bird's eye, and then I like to grab some jalapeno, because the jalapeno chili, it doesn't just give you spice, but it gives you an amazing mouthful of flavor. And pretty much it transforms the pickle. So I just grab my handful like such, and then just chop them up. This is optional, you can throw it in if you want. I love it. I love my jalapenos, so For the chili lovers out there, I promise you, this adds a ton of flavor. Alrighty, so the gnocchi's almost done. It's got 5 minutes left. So now I've chopped up all my other ingredients, okay? That all goes into the mixing bowl, like such. And the reason why I like to use the mixing bowl is because this, once I've chopped up the octopus and added it, it gives me the opportunity to actually mix all of these ingredients thoroughly instead of just shoving in bit by bit as you go into the bowl. Okay, so again, I've got my shallots, I've got my chilies, I've got my basil, my thyme, my rosemary, a little bit of oregano, which I forgot to say earlier. It's got my diced jalapeños. Okay, throw in a bit of pepper. This is another optional, but sun-dried tomatoes adds an absolutely amazing flavor to it as well. All right. Now, red wine vinegar. You don't need much of this, but this gives it a bit of zing. This is just a 1/3 cup. Like that. And then about the same of olive oil. Okay. And then we give that a nice mix. Look how beautiful that looks. Absolutely stunning. So once we add the octopus, we mix it all in together and we start filling up our jars. Alright, so the mix is made. The gnocchi is cooked. That's ready to go as well. Pickle juice. We'll let that cool down for a little bit, and then as soon as it's cooled down and you can touch it without burning your fingertips, we'll chop it up and then mix it with that bowl. Absolutely. Cheers. Have a go at that. There is now our cooked gnocchi. Okay, all I'm going to do is simply cut it so that I separate the tentacles into individuals. Just like that. Okay, and then all we do from here simply is just cut it into smaller pieces, just mouth-sized pieces, and then we're going to transfer it into the bowl and mix it all together. Just down to the last couple of tentacles. Super soft. Sorry, but I have to. Oh. Wow. Have a look at all that goodness. Beautiful. Alright, so from here guys, pretty straightforward. Got your jars, grab your scoopfuls, Put your Rocky in. So on and so forth until you've pretty much filled up your jar. Alright, so now that we've got our Oki jar almost 3/4 or just about 3/4, the final part, and that's just topping it up like so. With the juice just to the brim. Perfect. Just give them a quick let all that mix together. And there you go, guys. That right there is my pickled octopus recipe. Go ahead, make it yourself. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. From here, I usually leave these guys in the fridge for about 2 days and then crack it and go for it. And I promise you, mate, you're gonna wanna make it again and again and again. All right, guys, so that's gonna do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. This is my little recipe that I've been making for a while now. I've never really had a complaint. I hope you guys give it a crack. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you liked it, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe and tell your friends and follow along. And I'll see you next time in the next episode. Cheers, guys.